Hi everybody, and welcome to Cards to Go for February. So behind me you'll see stacks of pieces and parts all waiting to be mailed out to any of you who want the cards to go for this month. And also I want to talk about another issue that was brought to our attention yesterday. I forwarded any of you that I have email addresses. I forwarded a message from Eleanor Green. If you remember Eleanor, she's one of our happy little card party ladies, and she had a really great request for all of us to send thank you cards to the healthcare workers at the hospital. She knows of a need there at Ruby, and these people have been working really hard taking care of the sick people, and we really got to let them know that we appreciate them. I know it seems like this will never end. For people like me, I can stay safe at home, but I know they have to go to work every day and ensure that people are cared for. So I have some cards that I plan to send out, and I've heard from many of you, and it just makes me feel warm inside to have such a response to others who are willing to send cards, thank you cards, to these hospital workers in Morgantown, in our hospital. But if you send them to other hospitals, if you're from another area and you see this, and send cards to your healthcare workers there. We'll be sending them to WVU hospitals, and the information, I'll post it again, as well as it's in an email if you were able to get that from me. So let's start on our first of our cards to go for February. Cards to go for February, there are 3 each. 3 cards that you get 2 each. They're $15 plus an extra $3 for postage if I need to mail them. If I can drop them off or you can pick them up, yay. But if I need to mail them, postage keeps going up, so it's $3 to mail them. So let's take a look. Just today I'm going to run through real quickly the first card. You won't have any problem. They're really easy to do, but I think they really pack a punch to me. Okay, so let's see what we've got. So these are the 3 cards we have for February. They're all from the Forever Fern bundle, which has this beautiful green paper with leaves and some lovely sayings. So they're all from that. So this is the card we're going to make today. This is our second card, which we'll make a little later, and our third card. Now, included with the Forever Fern suite is all sorts of gold accents, but I didn't have enough of those. I wouldn't have had enough of those to give everybody, so what I did was use the dies to cut my own gold accents, and they just look so pretty on here. So today's card, we're going to make this one. And when I actually started packaging these up and getting ready to send them out, I realized that I made 2 of them with the same color card base, and I thought, well, we just can't do that. We have to have some variety. So I changed it to the shaded spruce instead of the garden green. And I think it looks just as pretty, and it gives us a little variety. So in your card pack, you'll get a shaded spruce card base, and inside, to do with as you wish, stamp whatever you want, an embossed panel. Now I use these leaves, but you can use anything you have or want to use. And then of course we have our designer paper, our leaves that we will, oops, almost broke that one, stack up, and our sentiment panel. So let's just start assembling. So let's just roll up our sleeves and get started. Now, I know some of you start on the inside, but I generally start on the outside. So the first thing we need to do is just adhere this panel. And you all know my favorite glue. It's a wet glue. I always use a wet glue. You can use the multi-purpose, but I really love this art glitter glue because it has this fine tip on it. And even though I don't need it for this particular piece, I will need it in a minute, and you'll see that. Okay, this is just so super easy. Then put on your designer paper. Again, glue it down. And I find with an embossed panel that it really sticks better if you use the wet glue rather than the tape runners of any sort. Okay, and now is where we come into adding our beautiful pieces. Oh, if you have a little piece like that, I missed a little piece poking out, so take a look when you get your kit. Poke it out if you need to, but just arrange these however you want. And I just tended to like this way. So that's how I'm going to arrange mine. So now you'll see the importance of the fine tip glue. Now Stampin' Up! Does have a fine tip glue pen too, if you would like to use it. I will tell you this is my favorite. And I like to get this pretty good because this is a pretty delicate piece, so I don't want pieces of it popping off and tearing off when I send it out to my recipient. So I try to get it pretty good without making it too messy. And here comes the fun part, to lay it down without smearing it up too much. Okay. And again, this Forever Greenery does come with a beautiful packet of foil accents, but it wouldn't have been enough to do cards to go for everybody. So I thought, well, I have gold foil paper, and I have these lovely dies from the Forever Fern bundle. Forever Greenery may be the name of the dies. So I will just make my own beautiful gold accent pieces, which I'm actually very pleased with. Now, this last piece is a piece that I stamped and then die cut. So before I actually put that on, because I was mass producing, I didn't want to have to place this die every time perfectly on the paper. So what I did was cut out a whole bunch of these, just the outline, and then I place it, I actually put this paper on here, stamped it, and placed the die and cut the one out. And now I have a template so that I can cut out just a whole bunch of plain white pieces, put it on my Stamparatus, stamp it, and if I hadn't got a good image, I could just close it and stamp it again, but my image is okay. Then, because it's kind of stuck in there and I don't have enough fingernails to get it out, I grab my little take your pick tool and just pick it out. And I did several of those, and I had a lovely time doing that. So now that we have that all taken care of, close this ink before I get into it. And I'm just going to glue down this last piece. I don't really need my tweezers for this or even the fine tip glue, but and I have my sentiment panel. So grab that. Now originally I had used the sentiment that came with the stamp set, and I love that sentiment. But today, in honor of Eleanor's telling us of a need, I am going to use this die cut from the well-written framelits, dies, whatever. There are several words, and this one just happens to be thanks. Just for my benefit, when I got these, I cut everything out so I could see what they were, because it was pretty hard to read the dies backwards. So these are all the words that come with it. Of course, there's a whole other stamp set that's also bundled. Well, was bundled with it, but coordinates with it. So I just cut out that thanks, and I'm going to put that on my white piece. So I think I'll grab my tweezers up again, because that'll be the easiest way to do this. I'm trying to get just a little dab all over it so that it does stick well. It doesn't pop up. So I'm just going to try to put this right about in the middle, fairly straight. And then I can glue it to this. These are pre-cut for you. If you don't need them this large, of course, you can cut them down for whatever sentiment you're going to use. Okay? Then I just so happen to have, and these are included in your kit, these beautiful gold pearl dies that just kind of really make a nice accent. It's stuck to my finger. I'm trying to get it off. Okay, kind of make a really nice accent. So we'll just stick one of these on each side. Normally I would use, oops, again, my little take your pick tool. But these are so tiny. So good luck with this if you have fat fingers like I do. Maybe I need to use the other end of the take your pick tool. There we go. Oops, no, it's stuck. Okay, there we go. Push that down on there. Oh, it's a little crooked, but a little bit straight. Okay, and then I actually use dimensionals. So let me grab some dimensionals. Well, these have been pretty well used. That's okay. As far as I'm concerned, I think this is the best part. So let's just get some dimensionals. And I like to use a lot because I don't like things kind of sagging. So I like them pretty well supported. And this just needs another little one here. Okay, don't laugh at me, but somebody showed me this trick about using the pointy end of your tool to pick up all these, and I don't think I'm a pro at it yet, but maybe it'll work. It did. It did. And she is just real slick at it, but I'm not. But it is pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Now, some of them I just don't get the hang. Oh, wait, I did it. I did it all. Yay me. Okay. Didn't think I did, but I did. Okay, and then just place this on here pretty near the bottom of your pretty paper, but it lines up with it too because it's the same length unless you need to change it for your sentiment. And try to get it straight. Okay, and the inside, so this can be a thank you hospital that I'm going to send to the hospital workers. Okay, put that pokey thing away before I poke myself. All right, so now I just have my inside to put. So I don't really have another sentiment that I want to put on the inside, but I do want to make it pretty, so I'm just going to stamp some leaves. Get out an old piece of scrap paper to do that. You can see that I've been using this one for this purpose. So I'm just going to stamp some leaves. I don't remember which way I stamped them on the other card, but it doesn't really matter. So this paper has several of the greens. It has almost all of our greens. So it has some old olive, it has some garden green. The shaded spruce goes with it really nicely. So I'm going to just use two different greens to just just stamp something inside because I like something to be in it. And these stamps stamp so pretty. They've just got that beautiful texture to them. So let's maybe do that. And then I feel like I want to do that. And I like that, so I will just use it. Ink pad away, or I'll be in them and making a mess. Wipe my hands off. And let's put this inside. Again, I prefer my wet glue for everything. And I will caution you that if you do choose to use a wet glue with a fine tip, you do need to keep that pen in there or it will clog. So this one came with the pen. The others that I know of also come with pen. So if you don't put the pen in, they will clog. Okay, so this is the first of our cards to go. Remember, you can stamp anything you want. I wanted to go ahead and use the thanks. So I can use this for the WVU hospital employees or Ruby employees. So that's one of the ones that can be sent to them. Now, I have several cards that I have made over time. And I just want to share a few of them with you and tell you that they don't all have, or they haven't all had, the sentiments that they needed. So what I've done is just changed them. So there's today's card. Now here's one, and you may recognize back when we were able to have our parties, I had the sentiment friend across here. So what I did was just get this die cut out my handy dandy thanks with my well-written dies, and just glued the same die cut over top of it and then added the thanks. So the inside's empty so I can write whatever I want. This one is also an old card with a retired set, but it actually already had a beautiful sentiment that will work wonderfully for thanking our hospital employees for their dedication and their work every day. Now this is from a current set. This is from the Sunflower Bundle. I believe we did this card last spring, or I videoed this card last spring. But I already have a sentiment on it that'll work. And this card is one that we did in one of our parties, and it had a different sentiment here. So instead of having a different sentiment on here, I just, again, die cut the thanks and just put it right on top. This is one, I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but there's a different sentiment stamped on this first label. So I just put another label, it covers it up, and I put my die cut thanks. This one's one we did with the daisies, and we did do this in one of our parties. So I just, again, I made these cards so I can change them, and you can too. I could have put a whole new one here, but I would have had to dig out the stamp set and look for the leaf, and I didn't want to do that. So I just poked out one of these little ovals with the oval punch, die cut another thanks, and put it on. So, I mean, here are several other cards that I can, some of them are blank inside, and some of them, and that one, I can easily change that sentiment. I can put something over top of it and mat it and change that. So, you are amazing. I think that one will already work. So that is how I am going to repurpose several of the cards I've made this year already and use them for our healthcare workers and those essential workers that are making sure that the community is taken care of. So it's easy enough for me to change the sentiments on most of these, well, on all of these. And I've already started. So there will be several cards going out to meet the need in the community. So that's our first of the cards to go, and how I plan to adapt some of my already made cards to meet our current need. If you're interested in the cards to go, just let me know. Again, there are 2 each of 3 different designs. $15 plus $3 if I need to mail them to you for postage. Thank you all for being with me. Stay safe, stay well, and I hope I see you again soon. Take care. Bye.